Blog Talk Radio.
Winston-Salem, it's Sunday Night Dead.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Night Dead. Yes, the orbs are here again, and they are pissed. This is Matthew Slozer from Autumn Moon Paranormal in beautiful Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Thank you for joining me for this Labor Day weekend. Carry over from kind of the drama from last week, and this is actually very fitting because today we are going to have our second Paradrama roundtable, and we have a great crew that is calling in to talk about drama in the paranormal field tonight. But the last week I had posted the picture of the orbs and had the comment about that orbs don't listen to internet radio because they don't have hands or ears, but if they did, of course, they would listen to Sunday Night Dead. And I guess that offended the quote-unquote orb community, and so we have some pissed off orbs out there. They are actually picketing the studio tonight. They are actually outside, but you would walk right through the picket line if you didn't realize it, because it really just looks like a bunch of dust out there. So you really wouldn't be able to know if what was going on out there. But yes, they are mad, and they've actually sabotaged my computer tonight. My computer does not work, the computer works as far as hosting the show, but something went wrong about 2 minutes before the show went live. I'm not sure what button got hit, but the keyboard does not work. So I cannot type in the chat, so I am not ignoring you. I will, if you have any questions in the chat room, please type them in, and we will forward them on to our group tonight. It's always an adventure here with technical difficulties, so we just kind of roll with it. On the other hand, Mr. Vince, my technical assistant, how are you, and what do you think about the whole paradrama thing?
Do I look like someone who deals with drama?
Well, you might not deal with drama.
What's the deal with you? Wake up on the wrong side of the bed, Matt?
Yeah, a little testy today, Vincent. All right. So I think the orbs got him a little upset as well. I also did a bad job today reading directions on things and was doing some work that it had clearly on there to wear eye protection. And I didn't wear eye protection, and maybe it was an orb or maybe it was just my bad luck. But, of course, I got whacked in the eye, so I'm kind of looking like Popeye this evening. So quite an interesting evening this Labor Day weekend. So, but we have a good crew on, and we have some great topics to talk about. Last time we did the roundtable for Paradrama, which was about mid-July. We talked a lot about how groups are policing other groups and things going along that line. So we want to get into that. I want to get into some of this kind of like hoax baiting that's going on right now, where people are using Photoshop applications to just put a generic kind of ghost picture in a picture and then sending it to teams trying to get them to comment on it. So interesting. But anyway, and I'm seeing in the chat room and I can't type to respond about this. We had a technical difficulty a couple weeks ago where people couldn't hear. So if someone in the chat room, if you can hear me, if you can post back to make sure that we have the audio coming through, I would certainly appreciate that. And I see people typing, so I'm assuming that you guys can hear me. Okay, awesome. All right. Well, another thing I wanted to mention was this is just kind of a thing that I'm curious about. So I want to get kind of Roundtable's opinion on this as we bring everybody in and get other people's views as well. I'm not saying there's anything to this. I just find this interesting. So I survived the first week of kids being back to school, but that is a little stressful, our routine. People that know me or people that follow my escapades on Facebook know kind of what goes on with our morning routines with the kids. But the last 4 nights I've been having absolutely really weird, like, nightmare-type dreams. And they, for the most part, have to deal with investigating. And it wasn't until 2 nights ago that we actually had nothing lined up private-wise, and so I get a call 2 nights ago, and now we have a private investigation set up for next weekend. So it just kind of throws the question out there, am I just eating bad stuff before I go to bed and too stressed having these dreams, or am I getting some type of message to either intimidate me to not go or to something along those lines. I tend to lean on the first camp of I'm just a little stressed out and eat some bad things, but I know some people, including some people I've investigated with in the past, that have actually dreamt about locations and actually ended up seeing the actual room itself, or actually the people that actually ended up owning the building before they ever met them. So I've never met this person that I'm going to be going up to this house or any details on it, but I will certainly let you all know if we run into anything unusual there, as far as anything that kind of coming true from a dream. All right, let me start introducing the panel we have tonight. So first we have Kelly Wirtz from, and her group name's really wrong, Paranormal Investigation and Research Society. Did I get that right?
You sure did.
All right. For anyone out there, I am horrible with names, so as I continue to get in touch with more groups and more team names and things, my chance of butchering them are going to get higher and higher. And speaking of that, next up is a group whose name I consistently butcher, South Jersey Soul Searchers, right? Katie?
South Soul Searchers.
Okay. I always kind of go back and forth that. So we have Katie Hewitt, who also, I have to add, is the voice behind the scream on our Sunday Night Dead introduction there. So another little trivia thing. And John Coghill, which I have to give him I didn't give myself the title that I normally have started to introduce myself with. And this is, again, just to be kind of silly, and also because I know it'll annoy some people that really get bent out of shape on semantics. So I've referred to myself as the certified paranormal genius with a PhD in excellence from the Paranormal Pantheon. But here we have the certified knower of the unknown with a PhD in enthusiasm, Mr. John Coghill. How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good.
And then next we have someone that I've really enjoyed meeting and having the opportunity to investigate with several times at one of my favorite locations in the whole planet, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, Mr. Copperhead. Hang on here. Little delay. You there, Copperhead? Yeah. The orbs might be messing with me again. There you go. You there, Copperhead?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's acting funny tonight. You know, every once in a while we get these nights where Blog Talk Radio does some goofy things, and tonight's one of those nights. So we're getting a lot of delays, and I'll blame the orbs.
I was hoping that you didn't butcher my name. Hey, if you want to have some more fun with orbs, go to my Facebook page and look at the one that I posted from the Sony CyberShot. It's actually in the manual. I had Corey Stolberg send me the picture because I couldn't steal it from his page for some reason, so he posted it to my page. You'll love it.
Oh, awesome.
It's actually in the manual about orbs.
I'll let people know this ahead of time too, but so I'm probably kind of taking some of the wind out of this. But just again, along the whole paradrama thing, since I just think some people get a little too bent out of shape over things. I have a Halloween decoration, which is basically just a wooden cutout of a ghost painted up, and I'm going to put that somewhere in my house. I'm not sure which room yet, or even maybe outside. Take a picture of it and make the factually correct statement of, this is a picture of a ghost in my living room, or wherever it ends up being, because it is. I'm not saying it's a real ghost; it's just a picture of a ghost. And put it on the Sunday Night Dead site and all those things, and just say, there'll be somebody that'll get, totally bent out of shape that I'm going to give everyone a bad name by doing that. So, speaking of the Sunday Night Dead site, I have to quick mention, if anyone else would like to call in, and I see we have another phone call in, so I will get to you in 1 second. But the number is 646-929-2384. And we also have the Sunday Night Dead Facebook group, and we had a contest for the month of August that whoever could get the largest number of people to come in and say that whoever referred them or sent them would get a highly uncommon and prized Dead Air T-shirt. And I must say that our winner for August is Deb Lichtenwalner. So I will be in touch with you to get your information, and we will send you the Dead Air T-shirt for winning the contest for August. What we're going to do in September is something a little different. So I'll put it on the site, but listen up to anyone who's interested. This time we will put the names in every week from people who share the Sunday Night Dead page. So all you have to do is get on there and one time during the week share the Sunday Night Dead page. And what we'll do then is I will take those names. We will draw a finalist every week, and then at the end of September, out of the 4 weeks that we have, we'll go ahead and draw out of those 4, and whoever is the winner will get, again, a highly uncommon Dead Air T-shirt. All right, one other caller here, so let's see who we have. Welcome to Sunday Night Dead. Who do we have here?
Hi, it's Rebecca Boyer with Anti Paranormal Society.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you?
I am good. I'm very good.
Well, I thank you very much, everyone, for calling in. It's always a little different on a holiday weekend as far as who's going to be available and who's not. So I really appreciate you all taking your time out to talk with us here on the whole Paradrama thing. So I kind of wanted to lead off this time around. Last time, some of our guests were on last time when we did this, and we talked a lot about groups policing other groups and kind of passing judgment on things. The other thing that I've seen a lot of, and I know Rebecca has seen this, so I guess we'll start. I'll put you on the spot first because I know you were involved in one of these things just in the last couple of days, where people are taking these iPhone apps or Photoshop apps and putting Ghost or I've seen the Grunge Girl pop up in a couple locations recently, so I guess she's been pretty active, and put these in pictures and then send them to a team, ask them what they think of the picture, and then if the team bites and says that they think they might have something, ends up, kind of blowing it up and trying to make them look like idiots. So, again, just kind of your thoughts in general on, what's going on with that, and your thoughts on people doing that in the first place. Rebecca.
Well, I've seen a lot of them posting that. Actually, I think mine was a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure. But there was a group that posted a picture they said they had gotten from some random person. I don't remember if it was from an email or on Facebook, but they posted, and they were all excited. Look at this. This is a great find, and, this person sent it to us. And I just really think groups really need to, they need to know that is a possibility, that there are applications out there on phones and other things that you just add that stuff in. And even Photoshop. I mean, look at some of the things that people have done with Photoshop. It's so easy to put those things in, but people don't do their homework to find out what types of ghosts can be put into your pictures. And it just, to me, it's just kind of it's bad on the person who's sending it to you's part because they're doing this as a hoax. But then again, the group that's not doing their homework to find out, it's kind of a bad situation on both parts.
Right. No, I understand. Copperhead, what are your thoughts? Have you seen this before, or any interaction with these hoax things?
I have actually had 2 or 3 pictures sent to me out of the blue from people either on Facebook or to my email, and I just always send back to them without knowing the type of camera, the type of film, if you used film, and I just go through this whole big thing that I send them back to them, and then usually I don't hear back from them. I just do the baffle them with BS thing, you know. I try not to get involved with too much of that stuff because I'm no expert on it, you know. CG, some of the CG stuff, computer graphic stuff, man, you can't tell the difference. You know, some of them people are really good, and if you don't know how to pick it apart, you know, here you agree with them, and then they make you look like a complete and total moron, which, you know, I don't need help in that department sometimes.
Excuse me. Well, I totally get, and that's the thing is they get. I mean, some of them are obvious. There's that one famous picture of the girl sitting on the. I forget if it's like a bench or a tombstone in the cemetery. That's popped up in a lot of places, and there's a Civil War soldier that's in a lot of them. But I mean, you could. If you could do something, somebody that's really skilled at this, similar technology-wise or something, and come up with something fairly original that's not an image that everyone recognizes floating around out there. And, you could probably cook up, obviously it's buyer beware, and the groups need to do their homework and make sure they know what's going on there. But I'm sure as technology gets better and better, the ability to kind of pull off these hoax things is going to get better and better as well. Katie, how about your thoughts?
My thoughts are, personally, it hasn't happened to us. I agree with Copperhead on, you really want to find out from the source itself. You definitely don't want to, as soon as you get it, post it and then say, look what I found or whatever. But you definitely want to check the background of that photo. Photoshop pictures have been around since the 1800s with spirit photos and stuff like that. So, just checking them out, and checking out the people's backgrounds and exactly if, you got to find out yourself if it's fake or if it's real. Go from there.
Now, John, since you're the knower of the unknown, you don't have this issue, do you?
My personal take is that I guess it's kind of conceited. If it's somebody I don't know, I don't worry about it. And if it's like my team, I look at it and be like, wow, that's neat, and I try to figure out if it's real. But if it's somebody like you, if you sent me something, I know it has meaning to it. But if I see it posted on Facebook and I don't know who it's from or the person who took it or the team, I just kind of just don't even really, I just go, interesting. That's how I treat it.
Kelly, you have any experiences or anyone with like the blog and things trying to send you stuff to get you to kind of put it out there?
Yeah, we've had a couple on the page and we've had a few. I don't respond. If it's someone I really don't know and someone I've never even heard of, especially some of those watchdog websites, I don't respond. It's just not worth it.
Well, good transition right into the watchdogs and stuff. What are your thoughts on that? Because from my end, I guess I missed the memo that declared certain people the experts in this whole field that they can go ahead and start passing judgment on absolutely everybody else.
Oh, I think it's ridiculous. There's some that have been decent about it in the beginning, and I've thought, oh, okay, maybe they're all right, and then you see them go like rabid dogs at other people, and it's usually the ones that they're not trying to fraud anybody. They want to know what they've got or what they may have caught, and they tear these poor groups apart, and I'm just against that. I think we should all be working together, and if it's not something, we should be able to say, hey, we don't think it's anything, but, keep trying and whatnot, instead of attacking people. I think that's useless.
I would agree. Copperhead, what do you think on that, these watchdog ones? Have you run into anything with any of them or anything either with Trans-Allegheny or any of the work you've done?
Yeah, I've had a few that have come in, and they're like their way is the only way and all that good stuff. they tend to put down other groups, and I sit and listen to them for a little bit, and I always tell them, you know what's cool about my job? I get to meet all these groups that everybody's slamming. I get to meet the groups that's doing the slamming. All in all, they're doing the same thing. They just have different techniques. And, there's people with more experience, so to say, but I've yet to see anybody that can claim they are, an expert. I've got a lot of experience with a lot of stuff too, but I'll be the first to tell you I wouldn't claim to be an expert, at all, anywhere close to it. And I try not, if somebody has a way of doing things that I think is a little odd, I try to keep it to myself, because hey, if it's working for them, let it work.
Very, very, very true. Very true. Rebecca, your thoughts on the watchdogs?
Well, first of all, I don't really like them. I mean, obviously, there's always the people out there that are frauds, and the whole para-unity thing where everybody's using it as a front to hide all of their hidden fraudulent agenda, whatever. But it's just, if they're going after people that are legitimately trying to find answers, why does it matter to them what they're doing? If they're using pendulums, if they're using dowsing rods, spirit boxes, if it works for them and they're helping people, even if it's a placebo effect and they're not really helping people, if they are helping people, get past their issues, then why does it matter? And, there's some people that do it for scientific reasons. They're trying to gather the data, and that's great. That will further the field. Then there's the people who use the metaphysical aspect where they're not really worried about the data. They just want to kind of, collect the experiences and kind of help people along. And, there's nothing wrong with what everybody's doing. It's just not the way they feel like it should be done. So to me, I don't really care what everybody does. I use a flashlight for the flashlight, manipulation, and I don't really care what other people use or why they feel that the theory is wrong. To me, everything that we do is a theory. There are doubts about everything. And if you throw everything out, we're left with nothing, and we might as well just close up shop and go home.
No, I agree. And it's that leads to a good point. I've posted on the site earlier in the week and had mentioned that we were going to talk a little bit about I'm just making sure. Okay, I just see some more sound comments in the chat room. Want to make sure everything's working. So the whole Myers-Briggs, and there's a bunch of different versions on it, but basically it's kind of personality typing, and really a lot of businesses will do this, and there'll be kind of this quad theory of behavior where there's, at least in the Myers-Briggs, there's 16 different personality types, but there's really 4 big buckets that they all can kind of fall into. And I just find this interesting because it can kind of really explain a lot of conflict you run into at work, at home, or it actually explains a lot of the things that I see on the paranormal, paradrama side of things, and kind of how it goes. And we had somebody that has pretty good expertise in this area, but unfortunately she is traveling on the holiday weekend here, so we're going to have her on a future show. But basically, and I'm going to just do this very cliff notes, and if someone out there knows a lot more about this than me, no offense meant on any of this by doing it very quickly, but basically there's one group that they're the SJs, and they're very into like tradition and authority and kind of being recognized by for doing kind of the right things, and so they're the people that want to be in highly recognized positions, and want to be kind of playing by the rules on the straight and narrow. And I would say on the paranormal side, these would be the tend to be the people that are going to be very hung up on the protocols and making sure that people are doing things standard ways, and they're also the people that will be the most interested in and the most concerned about what other people think. So whether the mainstream scientific community validates that, hey, you're really doing something good, that will mean a lot to them. Then there's the SPs, which they're very much into action and activity. So these are kind of like your thrill seeker types. And these will be the type that'll have the bucket list of locations, go out, do all the do these locations, and if you have an SP in your group, they might be, if you have anyone that goes out and does the investigation, and then after the investigation doesn't review anything, that would be more than likely an SP, because actually they're into the experience. So actually being in the location and actually kind of doing the investigation pretty much fulfills what they're looking for. And so it's kind of, and again, none of these things are right or wrong. It's just different. But yeah, I've already seen, out there, groups slam other groups of, some people are just out there just to have a good time. And, well, yeah, there are some people out there that's kind of what their motivation is. Then you have the
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, none of these things are right or wrong. It's just all different. And that's been kind of one of my big points on this is it's everybody trying different things. That's how we all learn. If we're all doing the same thing, we're all repeating the same mistakes. And so you're never going to really learn if everybody's doing the exact same thing. And the NTs are kind of hung up on data and kind of accumulating different kind of skills. And then the last one, and this is the one that to me jumps out, kind of the SPs with the activity, and then this group, the NFs jump out because these would be the types that if you ever hear anyone saying about, we're all in this because we need to help homeowners, or we're all in this because we need to help the spirits, and that's where, where the whole emphasis is on helping someone else, that's kind of like the hallmark of that group. And again, none of these things are right or wrong. It's just different emphasis in how people view things, and this really applies for things outside of, ghosts and things. So I just found it very, very interesting, and so I kind of look at these different groups that are big drama, conflict groups, and for the most part, you can kind of fit them into one of those four categories. Katie, I know you have some background in this as well. What are your thoughts?
Well, I have a little bit of background on it because I took a couple of classes in psychology, and it was actually very interesting. And the types you're actually talking about is temperaments, not so much personality, but temperaments. When you go to psychology, you pretty much either learn about, Freud and stuff like that. But then when you take psychology course again, you pretty much go into personality types, temperament types, and what kind of person that you are as a whole. But I believe everybody is different in this world, and that's what makes the world go around. And I'm also a Libra though too, and I like the different personalities. I like how people are different. Styling when they do investigations. I'm not the type of person to bash anybody about how they're different. I just love to learn. I did take the test, though. I found out I was an introvert, intuitive, thinker, and judger. Pretty much me. So.
If I got that right, you said INTJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the same then. So. Good.
And I have taken that test actually in psychology class, and I've gotten that before, so I'm definitely that. But it's a fun test to take. You're like, oh, wow, that is me. That's definitely pinpoints me. I'm almost to say. But it's fun, and you just don't realize how many different personalities, not only personalities, but temperament goes along with the personality, too. So.
And I'll quick add one, because this is an observation. I always laugh at this because this is my wife to a T, because we're pretty much opposites on at least 3 out of the 4. And the one way to tell the kind of introvert versus extrovert, because it's not what you think about. It's not kind of shy versus engaging. It's more, do you get energy from being around people, or do you get energy from being alone, more or less? So the way you can really tell the difference between that is how they behave in a car. So, like my wife's an extrovert. She gets in the car, first thing she has to do is try to call someone, so if she's alone in the car, because to have somebody to talk to. Whereas me, the car, the commute in the morning is one of the very few refuges, especially with 5 kids at home, where I don't have people asking me for different things. So it's kind of like my fortress of solitude there, driving on in. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have 4 kids too as well. My kids are teenagers, So I definitely know what you're talking about when you're talking about in the car and, yes, your solitude. I like to be alone. I don't like to really talk. That's kind of my, like, peace time. Whether it be 10 minutes down the road or a half hour down the road, it's my peace time for me to think about what I got to do for the day and things like that. I know how those mornings are, too.
Yeah, it's been quite an interesting week this past week. Copperhead, there was one other question I had earlier that I wanted to ask you on that whole hoaxing issue. I don't think I asked this earlier. Have you had any problems or any issues with people trying to hoax out Trans-Allegheny stuff? Like photoshopping in a picture in the violent mail ward and saying, "Hey, look what I got."
We did have a video that was sent, and at first review of it, it looked, right on. But then once we started looking at it, it was one of the historical guides. It was almost like they overlaid the historical guide in the video somehow. We got that sent to us, so we basically put that on in a file and put it away because they swear it's true. We're thinking that it's not, so why put anything out there that could be, a hoax?
Right.
I had a guy, and I need to send you these photos. I had a guy just send me 2 photos taken with an IR camera, and I've been looking at them, and I can't figure it out. I can't figure out if it's computer graphics. I don't know. He swears up and down that, so I need to send them to you, and Rebecca, I want her to look at them. Zach's going to look at them. I've got quite a few people I want to get them to. I just haven't done it yet. And that's my whole, let's see, what do you call it, procrastination thing? That and no time. But anyway, it's these photos. It almost looks like there's a bench. It was taken on Ward 1 in one of the rooms, and it almost looks like there's like a community bench in this room, and there's 2 people sitting side by side. You can see their feet, you can see the shoes, everything. And then over in the corner, it looks like there's something forming over there. And he asked me about it, and I said that I would send it and get what everybody thinks, and then I'd let them know. But they were there just, I think, in July. And I've gotten a lot of pictures from people, sent to me, and I look them over, and then some of the EVPs I get sent to me, you can tell it's somebody in that group talking,
Mm-hmm.
It's got the same volume. But I've gotten EVPs where I know I was the only one in that room, and it's the same volume and like me, So it's hard to tell if you weren't there at the time. It's hard to go over somebody else's stuff. Is the way I look at it,
I totally agree. The one thing I would throw out there is, that's why, when you listen to 4 or 5 hours of it, you have a great sampling of what those background noises are. And I trust to some degree, if it's somebody with a good amount of credibility, that they're going to be able to filter those things out.
And like me in Trans-Allegheny, I know the building sounds. I know, I've been there for 4 years now, almost every weekend. I know the building. Unfortunately, sometimes I think. But I can be going over my audio, and what's funny, I'm one of these people that I can play audio from 2 years ago and listen to it and be listening to it, and all of a sudden that session comes into my head. I can picture everybody, where everybody was sitting. I can picture everything about it.
Oh,
and
wow.
I don't know why I can do that. I do that. And I think that helps me out when I do my audio because I for some reason it kicks my memory. And
okay.
you know, and I've kind of got CRS anyway most of the time, but that helps me out on that.
Well, I know I had gotten those. I had sent you a couple odd pictures that I've gotten from Trans-Allegheny, and one, and I got to say, I'm very thankful to Don Hanauer at St. Albans, because I was there in January and took a picture, and some of you may have seen this. I actually still think I have it up, just because it's interesting. But it looks very much too, and if you start like messing with the brightness and kind of messing around things to try to get a better contrast on it, it seems to hold up. It very much looks like a girl in a bathrobe, and you can almost see like the bathrobe like not tied, that there would be like pajamas or something under. I mean, there's enough that you can kind of make out detail. Now, granted, it can be your brain matrixing it. But it looked very, very interesting. And so I sent that on, again, not saying, hey, look, I got a ghost at St. Albans. It was just this looks odd. What do you think of it? And they went back and checked, and there was some construction material about 3 feet back from that doorway. Now, was it definitely what made that or not? I don't know, but it's obviously it throws enough doubt into it that, you know, you throw the thing out. But I was very, very thankful to him that, you know, you see how some of these groups behave. You know, there was no, you stupid idiot, this is construction material there, next time go back and do your home. You know, it was handled very well. It came back and said, yeah, there was things in the hallway that may be causing that image. When I get back there, and I haven't been back there since, I'm going to try to reproduce that photograph and see particularly if there's still materials in that hallway, just to kind of see what we get, which is the same thing in arts and crafts, where I got that looks to me like a woman in an old kind of fashioned dress. Every time we're in lobotomy care, I take a shot down that one ward, hoping to see if I can reproduce that shot or not, to see, is it something with the light, is it something with the angles, and I've never been able to get remotely close to reproducing that shot that I got.
The one you sent me, it looks like the really big guy standing down.
That's the one.
Yeah. I got that. I got another picture of that basically same thing in a different location in lobotomy care sent to me.
Oh, wow.
If I can find it on my computer, I'll send it to you. And then I have seen that with my eyes, standing down, coming out of that room underneath the big event break room.
Oh, wow.
When I cross that wall, that short wall that divides it, when I go through that little doorway, man, the hair goes up on my arms every time. It's like he knows I'm there. You know? There was another one. I'm trying to think. Oh, Rebecca, I think Jeremy took it. The one up on R. The picture up on R. And then you guys went back
with the door?
up and
Yeah. It happened to be, we thought it was a shadow figure on a door, but it just happened to be, I guess because where water had leaked from the ceiling area onto the door, it was kind of mold and just the weathering of the wood on the door. It literally looked like something in like a cape.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a cool picture.
Yes, it was. Yeah, and it just
was
showed how easily something can trick your eyes.
Absolutely. Interesting. Well, I just want to quick add, too, this is just a little bit of kind of Myers-Briggs, my Myers-Briggs geekness kind of coming through here, but I saw that Rebecca also posted that she's an INTJ, which, again, I knew I liked you guys for a reason, and it's just interesting because overall it's like less than 1% of the population's INTJs, and 3 out of the 6 of us on this call are that temperament type, so there's got to be some trend, I guess, between that and this possible field of interest. But, again, just kind of kicking that out there. Katie and John, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, I've got the schizophrenic personality type. I go from serious to joking around in a matter of blink of an eye. I'm the thrill seeker. I'm the one that puts off going over evidence. Let's see, what else do I do? You know what I mean?
Awesome. Yeah, I have to say, with the exception of Kelly, I have had the pleasure of investigating with everyone that's on this call, at least once, in different locations. And if anyone out there gets the chance to investigate with anyone here, definitely it's worth doing. These are all very, very good investigators and very good techniques on things. And Copperhead and I have had some pretty interesting experiences, primarily up on the fourth floor with some things. But yeah, it's awesome, and I just get a kick out of it. You know, to anyone out there too, you just run your recorder. If Copperhead's around, just run your recorder, because I can't tell you how many comments I have either when he's doing the tour or just kind of walking around talking. How many spirits are around there that just decide to make comments on things he's saying. So it's quite interesting and quite entertaining.
Well, I think Jeremy kind of inherited some of the, I don't know if he's always had the capabilities, but after investigating with Copperhead a couple times, Jeremy is like a spirit magnet. He always has things happening, just like Copperhead. It's just totally bizarre.
That was interesting.
I don't know if you guys followed my tweets last night, but it was the most insane night I've had in that building, and I couldn't tell you how long. And I actually got sick on the third floor, and luckily I was just managing. Andrew has started doing the tours. He's one of the guides now, and I have to say, I might be a little partial, but the boy's good. I had to bail out on the third floor because I got that sick. I was out back thinking that, supper was coming. Back up. I couldn't continue. I mean, I got that bad last night.
Oh, wow.
And that's not happened to me in forever.
Where on 3?
3 and 6.
Okay.
Yeah. 6 is where it finally hit me really hard. And I told Andrew, I said, I got to go. I tried to stay in there, because he's still learning, and I don't want to get him all freaked out that stuff that can happen to you, And
right.
I discussed it with him. I discussed everything with him later. And unfortunately, he has inherited look at my scratches from his old man here. He wears them. He wears them like badges of honor. He comes down and shows everybody. The last room on the left on R, he's been scratched almost every time he goes in there now.
Oh, wow.
I told him, I said, you need to quit going in there. Don't do as I do as I say. It hasn't soaked in yet.
I will just add to everyone, I have and we've played it on some of the shows before. I have audio from April of 2011 of Copperhead and I going into that last room on the left on Ward R, and the meters went wild, and a male voice came through saying, "You're dead." So, yeah, there's a rather unpleasant character in that area. But while we're talking about kind of these kind of moments and very unusual effects and things, I'm kind of curious here. I guess I'll start with Kelly. In your investigating and in your experiences and stuff, what would you say is the experience that was kind of the most unsettling that you've had?
Oh, I think really the most unsettling thing for me is sometimes knowing the history, if it's a particularly violent or bad thing that has happened there. It's something that kind of makes me uneasy, and I really have to talk myself through it and almost like get to a meditative state so that I can put that behind me and just find out, what's going on. Because other than that, when we've investigated, we've been very, very fortunate not to have anything like that happen. So I think, like, Belisco was one, that whole history of the children and the parents getting killed was very unsettling for me to deal with, so I really had to go deep within to kind of put it out of my mind while I was there.
Well, I hate to kind of get into that, but I know most of the experienced investigators are familiar with that location, but for some people that are listening that may not know, can you tell us a little bit about the Vasilla Axe Murder House and kind of the story on that one, because it is definitely a very disturbing story.
It is. In June of 1912, 8 people were brutally killed by an axe. 6 children, and the sad part for me was the fact that there's 2 girls that had come to spend the night at the Morris house, and they were killed as well. The parents were killed, and it was just a really horrible, just horrific scene that the poor neighbor had found the next day. And, just the wide range of emotions you go through when you're there. And some of it, I think, is because of the history, the history. But some of it is it hits about midnight, and this darkness falls across, and you just feel this almost sinister, evil feeling. And that's really, I think, when they thought that the murders had occurred. And he basically went through, he killed the parents and then went through and systematically killed all 6 children, and it's very disturbing. And they never caught him, but they speculate it was possibly a drifter or somebody that was up in the attic and then came down at night. Yeah, I'm reading a book by Troy Taylor, and he kind of goes through the history of this drifter that had gone in through, like, Colorado and different states, and almost the same type of murders. And it's a very, very interesting read. It's called They Were Murdered in Their Beds. And it goes through a history, and there's several states that had almost the exact same murders that had occurred. So the theory, to me, could be possible.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
The other thing you think about, too, is you think about how, with the news cycles and everything, about how kind of nutty things seem to be getting, every year. But this is 1912. This is, 8 people chopped up in a house and, almost 100 years ago. This wasn't, there was no Freddy Krueger or Jason movies out, and, it is definitely disturbing. Rebecca, how about you? What would be one of the experiences that you would say was kind of like the most unsettling or uncomfortable?
I would have to say Trans-Allegheny. A couple of us from APS were asked to help out with the celebrity event last year in April, and some of us were security and some of us were spotters, and I was a spotter, and I'm not sure what floor everybody was on. That's been a long time ago, what celebrity was on what floor, but I was in the geriatrics ward, and I was walking towards the ramp to go out into the center of the building and then go to the other side because I know a bunch of people had gone over there. But the guide with my group was, all the way down the hall on the other end of the building, so I figured I'd go check out, see what they were doing. I was completely by myself, and I walk into the hall, walking towards that ramp, and a light comes out into the hallway, and I guess it was about probably 6 inches to 8 inches in diameter, and I thought, well, it's got to be a group in a room, it's just a flashlight. They're probably looking out in the hall because they heard me walking. So I stopped, and I figured I'll let them do whatever they're doing if they're coming out. I waited for 5 minutes, and nobody came out. So I start walking down the hallway. There was nobody else in that hallway. So I kind of stopped, and I'm thinking to myself, where do I go? I'm by myself. Do I go back the way I came? Do I continue walking out of here? And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to keep walking. Well, at that time, Bobby, another one of the spotters, came into the hallway. So I was very unsettled because I'm thinking, what else could I see? things that happen in this building are totally crazy. I mean, could I be physically harmed, or could, something else happen to me, something else that I see? And after you see something, then you can't unsee it. So it raised all the hair up on my arms, the back of my neck, so it was very unsettling.
I can imagine. I was there that same night, and I got to say that what's very interesting is I've only seen 3 full body apparitions, and 2 ended up being that night in that location. So, and it was interesting that in both cases the sighting ended up correlating with other evidence as well. One of the coolest things was up on R, because they sent us up to the floors early before they started having the people come through, and so I was just walking through, and I turned around and I saw a moving very fast, but it was like one of those. The best way I can describe it is if you ever see like a picture of someone like jumping, and they catch, especially like the old pictures, there's like the body, but then there's like a streak behind them.
Yeah.
It was like
yeah.
Just left a tail to it, but it looked like, and it was black and white, a woman in an old dress running across the floor, or running across the hallway from one room to another. Well, I was the only one up on the entire 4th floor, but what's interesting is I actually pick up a woman's voice in the hallway about like 10 seconds before I see a woman in the hallway. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So, well, we are at the halfway point. This is going very, very fast. Thank you, everyone, for being on. We are going to take a quick music break here. I'm going to play 2 songs, so it's going to take about 5 minutes. Let everyone go get a refill on their drinks or use the bathroom or anything else. We will be back very soon, and we will continue around the table with this most uncomfortable moments. Again, you are listening to Sunday Night Dead, the Paradrama Roundtable Part 2.
was young. It's not my problem. It's not my problem.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Sunday Night Dead. This is Matthew Slozer from Autumn Moon Paranormal here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And we have a great crew with us tonight talking about all kinds of different things. We're calling it the Paradrama Roundtable Part 2, but we've kind of covered a bunch of different things, including some of our creepier experiences that we've had, some of the hoax activity that's been going on, and also a little bit on the personality typing, which I am seeing a lot of discussion in the chat room on that. So I definitely, again, I do have some contacts that have much more expertise in that than I do. They just were not available this weekend to come on, so I'm definitely going to work on getting them on board and checking that out. So let me bring back our crew here. We have Kelly Wirtz. Hey, Kelly.
Hello. Hello.
And Katie and John.
Hello.
Hello.
Copperhead.
Hello.
Rebecca.
Hello.
And we have a new person. And I always say this. I think I know who this is. But I'm going to say ahead of time that whenever you kind of pick up these hot calls, you never know what you're going to get. Still my favorite one was we had a guy who was imitating the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he turned a ghost story into the theme song of that song. So you never know what you're going to get here, but let's see. Sunday Night Dead, who am I speaking with? Hello, Sunday Night Dead.
Hey, this is Jason Musgrove with Outer Edge Paranormal.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
How about yourself?
Doing well. So you're on here with Rebecca Slaughter-Boyer from Antietam and Copperhead from Trans-Allegheny, Katie and John from South Jersey Soul Searchers, and Kelly Wirtz from, I'm just going to say PIRS because it's really long. Oh, and hang on. We have somebody else here. The round table is growing.
Sounds like a party to me.
Whoever it was dropped. So hopefully, if you could hear us, whoever was trying to call in, please try to call back. And also a quick reminder out there to anyone out there on the chat, the orbs that are protesting my show sabotage my computer. I cannot type on the, for whatever reason, my keyboard is not working, so I can read what's on the chat, but you will not be getting any wonderful messages from me this evening. Let's see if we can bring this person back on.
Does that mean I can type as much hate against you and you can't respond?
I can. I got the mic though, and I can mute everybody, so I kind of have a bully pulpit here. Sunday Night Dead. Who just called in, please? Hello, 401 area code.
This is James Anito. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you, James?
Doing good. How's everybody?
Doing great. We got quite a nice crowd on here tonight, so it'll be very, very good. What we were talking about before we got before I had to take the 10 o'clock break was we were kind of going over most uncomfortable moments in our investigating experiences, and kind of what brought that on was Copperhead at Trans-Allegheny last week was talking about, or not last week, last night, how he had gotten basically physically sick up on the third floor, and that started kind of the discussion on this. And we were around at Katie and John, so I'll let you guys decide who wants to go first, but in your careers, what's been the most uncomfortable experience you've had?
For me first, I would have to say Pennhurst. Well, first of all, the history is just sad in itself. All those patients being neglected and abused, especially children. And then when you go there, it has the atmosphere just is very eerie when you go in there, especially for the first time. I remember the first time we went there and we were just volunteering to help out. You know, it was during the daytime, and you know, I physically couldn't really move anywhere. I tried to get to the basement by myself during the daytime, and it just felt like somebody was watching me. And we got an opportunity to actually do a little investigation at nighttime, and when we were downstairs, I could have sworn there was this big black shadow at the down hallway just staring at me the whole time. And at that time, it was just John and I downstairs and nobody else. Even when it comes to the third floor, there were reports of the little girl being up on the third floor. You know, it's complete darkness. You don't really see anything in front of you, but what you hear is nothing but footsteps coming, just running towards you. And I got to say, that's very uncomfortable to feel, you know. It's one thing to see a spirit and hear a spirit. It's another thing just to hear them, and you can't see them and you can't hear them, but they're footsteps. I think that's what for me, that's probably the most uncomfortable I've been, is at Pennhurst.
John, same location or something different?
Same location. I think I told you a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. For me, it was the EVP recordings of the screams when I was walking up the steps, and you could hear five screams of a woman, just terrifying scream, and I caught it on the EVP, and just like I said, playing it back still sends chills up my back.
Oh, I could imagine. I mean, that's just it's kind of funny. That's the story behind the scream on the intro, right? Was Katie was trying to let us know what it sounded like, what she heard out there one night, because that's been one of the big claims there, is people hear screams coming from some of the areas out there, and I mean, it is really, you know, if I heard that middle of the night out there somewhere, particularly if I was solo, that would certainly get my attention and certainly creep me out pretty much. Let's see. Copperhead, I didn't get to you, did I?
No, not yet.
Was it the story last night, or do you have something worse?
Oh, I got something worse.
I kind of figured, but I won't.
I was down in the Civil War kitchen. We had an event going on. It was the first big event that I'd been part of. And I had a couple of people tell me that I didn't need to be hanging out down the cafeteria area, that the man down there wanted to hurt me, and one of them said he wants to kill you, and he's going to do it. Try it tonight. And I started laughing. I said, well, he can try all he wants. Well, I'm standing there with a couple of guys, and you know how long my hair is. I had one guy to the right of me and a guy to the left of me, and some ladies were borrowing my dowsing rods, which I don't loan out anymore. And all of a sudden, it was like somebody took an air nozzle, like for a air tank, and hit me in the face with the air, and my hair went up, hit both the guys on either side of me. And then it felt like somebody...
You still there?
Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. I'm just trying to look here. We had a collar drop here. I wasn't sure if it was Copperhead or not. We may have lost Copperhead. So.
We lost Copperhead too?
Yeah, we lost Copperhead, and then we had lost Jason, and then Jason came back on, and we lost Copperhead. So up here he is.
This is Jason right here from Outer Edge.
Yeah. So okay, Copperhead, you back?
Yeah.
It's those orbs. The orbs are jamming my signal here. We lost a couple callers here, so it's that protest that's going on outside.
Where did you lose me at?
You were saying about the air hit you in the face, and the air came up and hit the two people alongside of you, and then that's when we lost you.
And as soon as that happened, it felt like somebody stepped up and punched me in the stomach as hard as they could. I doubled over, and then it felt like electricity went through my body, like going completely through me. And the guy to the right of me was this big paranormal investigator. I'm not going to say who it was or whatever, but he took off running. And I backed out of the room, and Jeff stayed with me, and Jeff's like, "Are you all right?" I'm shaking my head, no. We backed out, and I'd never experienced anything like that before.
Oh, wow.
And I was standing in, well, what's the love room, used to be the love room. I'm standing in there, and I'm getting my wind back, and my red hair took over, and I went straight back into the room, and I asked the ladies for my dowsing rods, and I said, "Excuse me for a minute." And I stood there, and I told them, I said, "There, you just tried it." I said, "Do it now that I'm looking." I said, "You just gave it your best shot." I said, "Look who's still standing." And from then on, it got pretty intense down there every time I went. You can ask Rebecca. I was down there one night with an EM pump, and I told them, I said, "You keep somebody at the DVR watching." I said, "Because if I'm down here by myself," I said, "there's no telling what will happen." And ended up I had to get away from the EM pumps. They're too much for me to handle. But yeah, that was the worst one ever so far, I should say.
Oh, wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring on and introduce Jason Musgrove. How you doing, Jason?
How's it going?
Good. Kind of curious, going to shift gears a little bit here. When we started the show off, we were talking a lot about some of the drama and some of the sideshow things that are going on here, and one of the things we were talking about was this whole kind of phenomenon that's going on right now, although Katie did mention it's been going on for a long time with spear photography, but this whole inserting images through Photoshop or iPhone apps onto a picture and then sending it to it saying, "Look at the ghost picture that I caught," and trying to basically set up the team to say, "Hey, you got from there," and then kind of calling them out and embarrassing on it. I want to see kind of your thoughts on that, and have you had any experience with people trying to pass things off on you on this, or just your thoughts in general?
Well, first off, I suggest before you put anything out there that you are 100% sure and had it, looked at by more than just your own set of eyes, because it's always good to have a friend that's actually not in the paranormal to look at it, so they can give you like a fresh view on it, and what their take is, because when you're in the paranormal, you're going to be looking for things, and you're going to be matrixing, trying to make things out of nothing. Some people do that, and I've been guilty of it as well, as far as saying things look like but they're not. A fresh set of eyes, definitely. I don't think people do it intentionally. I just think, a lot of people get excited about it. There are some people, however, that do Photoshop things, and there are programs out there that can actually tell you if a picture has been layered or not, or the odds of it, of what it, if it's been layered. So, but constructive criticism in the paranormal, it's what keeps people honest, keeps teams in line, and I don't have anything against it, as long as it's done with tact and not with hate. Like, for instance, if I had a picture that somebody disagreed with, I would hope that someone would say, "Hey, this is my thoughts on it," and in a very polite way, very friendly way, and not just full-blown attack somebody and call you stupid. And there's definitely ways to do it, but yeah, definitely have a second set of eyes with your evidence and ears with your evidence before you submit it out to the public.
That makes sense. And, some of it, too, that I've seen, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, is it might just be that I'm not reading these sites, but I see more of these kind of general rants on people, which, again, when you make it that general, there's probably far more people that think it's about them than the author really intended. But, I see a lot of these kind of general rants out there about just, keeping yourself in line and all these kind of things, which, I totally, I agree with the premise behind it, but again, it's the whole kind of, like you said, it's how you construct and deliver the message, and it can be done in a constructive way or it can be done in a very kind of destructive and negative way, and I still get concerned that, somebody that's just new and kind of naive in this and maybe made just a simple mistake, but actually could be really good and contribute in the field, could walk away just because of having, a really bad first experience with somebody that's a little bit of a hothead.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point is just be cool, Just be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And also want to introduce James Anito. How are you doing, James?
Doing good. You, bud?
Doing great. I had the opportunity to be on a show with James, I guess it was about 2 weeks ago. I was subbing in on the Paranormal Kool-Aid show, which is on Wednesday night. So we got to talk a little bit then, but curious too, and now I know you kind of have a little bit of a different emphasis with some of the demonology things, but I'm kind of curious there too. Have you run into people trying to intentionally fraud you or trick you into saying something's there that isn't in order to set you up?
Matt, come on. I have people telling me every single day that they have demonic activity in their house, and it's either they think it's demonic or they're just playing around with me, so they could pull one over my ears. I have people send me emails all the time with like pictures of scratches or EVPs that like a little girl saying help me, and they're like, it's demonic, it's trying to get my attention. I have people send me all the time. I've been on cases where I actually traveled a long amounts of distance of time and space, I like to call it, because friggin' traveling, man. And I got there and I pre-eval investigation and then do a cleansing and then find out after the cleansing or before I even do a cleansing that it's fake, or we caught evidence of a homeowner doing something stupid like scratching themselves, and we're actually catching it on camera because the homeowner's just too idiotic to understand that the camera is actually on the fireplace and it catches them scratching themselves. So it's happened to me so many times, it's not even funny. Even as a paranormal investigator, I had people sending me photoshopped images all the time. I went to school for graphic design and originally and computer programming, so I can easily tell you if a picture is photoshopped with a program with Adobe or anything. You can destructurize it to see if it was ever a Photoshop format. So it's just very easy, and it's happened to me so many times.
Wow. How about your thoughts on just the kind of the negativity and things that are going on in general? I mean, it's
on the paranormal?
Yeah.
Come on, Matt. You know my name is synonymous being young. How much drama I get upon my name. It's just there's too much people that are jealous of people that hate because just people escalate into certain. I like to call it, people like that slap the celebrity tag on people, even though that person doesn't think they're a celebrity, and everybody just mimics their name, and just especially with my age, and especially where I've become in the paranormal field from just 7 years ago, I was a nobody, and people know my name now. It just, and me being 22 years old, it's very hard. I get so much hate mail. I get so many people saying I'm a fraud, I'm a loser, I'm too young to be doing this. It's just crazy. I just think people just need to lay low. We're supposed to have unity in this field, and until you understand who I am, don't judge me. I'll sit with you and I'll debate with you, and I'll have a good time, and I'll show you what knowledge I have that I've accustomed to and studied for a long period of time, hands-on. And so if anybody that feels the need to pick on people if they don't know them, or they just want to join, I like to call it the hate wagon, get off of it, or leave the paranormal indefinitely, because we don't need that kind of crap. We need a structured field where we all can help each other and be there for each other. So, because we're not here to, let's say, make all ourselves famous. We're here to help people. We're here to deliberate and show people that houses are haunted and that there is ghosts and spirits, and to research this activity.
I'm going to quick, just because my keyboard is not working because of the orbs, I'll let Kyle know that James Anito is the person we're speaking to right now. Kyle in the chat room wanted to know who was speaking there. Well, my thoughts on this, I'm just kind of curious, anyone feel free to kind of weigh in on this, I don't like the sideshow. I don't really want to get involved in a lot of that stuff, but what I see is the more groups or teams that are worrying about what the other guy's doing, or the other team's doing across, the more that knocks them off their game. And so, if you concentrate on the work you're doing and doing good work and doing credible work and building your own credibility with other people in the community and just people out there, then really kind of what other people are doing on the side, it may have some impact in some degrees, but in general, it's not going to have a huge impact. And you're more likely going to get your efforts diluted by stressing out that, somebody in another group's calling it evidence review and spending time ranting on that than just concentrating on your own work. But I'll kind of kick that out. Not sure if anyone's got any thoughts on that.
Well, this is Jason, and I mean, the thing I can suggest to anybody, this is what I do for myself, is that I don't have any targets in the paranormal. The only target I have is myself. That is it. Always try to push yourself to the next level. Don't stay at that plateau. Just keep going, and just be good to people, and they'll be good to you.
Totally agree. Anyone else out there have any thoughts?
I totally agree with Jason on that. You sometimes though people, if you're nice to people regardless, sometimes people care about that. I'm one of the nicest individuals, and I don't just say that because I'm me. And I really am a nice person, and people just give a crap that you're nice. They want to target you. To me, all you have to really do is care about yourself and spread the joy of that to other people. Like you said, you have to pretty much, it's your life. You have to keep running the tugboat. You got to keep learning yourself. You have to keep doing everything. And if you care about what other people think about you, it's going to bring you down, like you said, Matt, and you're going to stress out. So the best thing is to do is, just be you. People ask me all the time, what do you think of people that cause John? I just let them be. I don't even give them attention. I don't even just add them from Facebook, because you know what? That makes them win. I'm defunding them, and then they have something to have victory about. So the best thing is just to tugboat yourself and just keep working and doing the best you can. And if people target you, just let it be.
It makes sense. I think was somebody else starting to talk as well? Was third person that said something?
This is Copperhead.
Hey.
You can ask Rebecca, and you can verify it pretty much yourself. You guys have known me for a long time. I'm pretty much the same person I was when I walked into the asylum my first time, to start working there. I've changed a little bit, and I know that because the experiences I've had, and I've made myself more aware. But, all in all, I'm still just me. you know, and I've done things and whatnot, but like I posted, and I know it made a lot of people mad. I put, just because you were on one TV show doesn't make you a superstar, you know. I honestly feel that. That, to me, that was, when I did that, it was fun. That was all it was to me. I just went and was myself and had fun, you know. And when I'm at the asylum, I'm me, I'm myself, and I'm having fun. And that's when I get all my stuff, you know. I don't see me ever being anything else than who I am, because that's me. I know it's kind of rambling and didn't make sense in a way, but it does to me, so I'll leave it at that.
No, it makes total sense, and I've said this before, and this is, you know, I'm just, you know, thoroughly enjoying getting to meet everybody here, but I started this, I mean, if absolutely nobody on this planet paid any attention to what I was doing, I would still do this anyway. This is something that I'm interested in. And the only reason why I started kind of branching out and contacting and networking with people is, as more and more people found out that I did this, they were interested and started asking me lots of questions about it. So whereas, you know, I honestly was more inclined to think that people would think I was kind of a little bit out there, I found out that a lot of people were interested in it, so I just started sharing the info. And then you meet more people that are interested in it, and so it's, you know, so at the end of the day, if there's somebody down the road or some other team that thinks I'm an idiot, you know, at the end of the day, it really doesn't change a whole lot as to what I'm going to do day in and day out. So let them think I'm an idiot.
I understand that fully.
Enough people do anyway. So Pamela has a question. I believe this is for Jason, the business. Could you elaborate on the business Paranormal Designs? I'm sorry, I can't type on the chat room, so I was hoping that was... So whoever has the business Paranormal Designs, if you can elaborate on that.
That Paranormal Designs is actually my company.
Okay.
I don't actively use anymore. I don't know how somebody actually got Paranormal Designs in the chat. I didn't even see that because that is old school. What I did is at one point in time, I created Paranormal Designs. Like I said, I have a design background, computer programming background, and when I was a tech manager back when I was part of Beyond the Veil with Carl Johnson, Dean Palazzini, I created Paranormal Designs for one reason only, so I could incorporate and hold the basis of website design for paranormal groups, so I could help paranormal groups, you know, be cheap for cheap wise, because you know people out there that make websites just overcharge and do stupid crap. So I was like, you know what, I can run a business and be very fair to people and say, you know, these people are charging you $100 for a website. I'll charge you $10, something stupid, you know, and I'll free. And I made a few websites. I made Beyond the Veil. I made my website. I made the Nest group that I don't talk to anymore due to the paranormal drama. But Paranormal Designs was meant to be a basis, a hub for people to actually get together and ask me to make designs for their websites. But because I got overly busy, started doing lots of lectures, started doing a lot of house cleansing, I put Paranormal Designs on the back burner. I still actively run it once in a while. I still run my website, and that's the only website I tend to run anymore because I'm the only one that updates it. So I have 4 things going at once. I work a full-time job, so I don't have time to run that. So it's pretty much no longer a company, but I still own it through a few different domain names, and I still own the LLC of it. So that's what Paranormal Designs is.
Ah, cool. All right, I'm going to kind of kick this over to Kelly. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, I just want to kind of get your opinion on this, see if anyone else has run into this. Again, I am not saying there's anything to this. It's just my approach in this field in general is I'm a big data guy, so I just kind of look and gather as much information as possible and see if anything starts adding up or anything doesn't. I think this is stress from our school routine, which is very brutal for me in the morning. But very interesting thing I was mentioning at the beginning of the show, where the last 4 nights I have had absolutely terrible, not just normal, vivid imagination nightmares, like really terrible, gruesome kind of dreams. And 2 nights, so it's been 4 nights in a row, but we had no investigations lined up. 2 nights in, I get a call and get a request for a investigation coming up in the next few days. And again, with some rather aggressive claims associated with it. So just kind of want to throw out, because I've talked to people in the past, some that I actually worked with one of our team members actually ahead of an investigation had some strange dreams and ended up, and this isn't somebody who is sensitive, when we ended up arriving at the location, dreamt about the house, and the person that answered the door was the same in the dream. So again, just kind of kick that out, get everyone's opinions. Have you had any weird experiences with anything dream-wise connecting with something that happened in a future investigation?
I actually, not to keep harping on the list, but I actually kept dreaming about it, and it was horrible. Just dreams that I would wake up and I could not get back to sleep because I was so terrified to go back to sleep. But I think the dreaming part, there's an intuition to all of us, and I think there's also, just I don't want to say psychic ability, but I think that your brain is so much more powerful than we really give credit to, and I think it kind of pulls in, it's like something's out there in the universe, and it's pulling it in, making you, pay attention to what's going on. But that's just my personal opinion, of course.
Awesome. Rebecca, any thoughts or experiences along this line?
I'll be honest, no, never have.
Okay. Well, no, that's why we're doing the sampling here. I was just kind of curious. Katie and John, how about you?
Me personally, I love dreams. I love to try to interpret dreams. I'm not an expert on dreams, though, but I always pay attention to my dreams. I kind of have a dream journal when I wake up. I kind of write down my dream and what it was about. A reoccurring dream is actually for you to actually pay attention to what's happening in that dream. So keep that in mind, definitely when that happens. But I've never dreamt about a place. I do and I don't. I guess it's kind of funny on that subject with me personally. If I dream about a place, it's usually like 5 years ago, and then I have deja vu, like, oh, I've been here, done that, because I was dreaming about it. But I am big into dreams. I'm big into pay attention to your dreams. When you wake up and you remember it, so write it down and definitely look it up. I go to dreammoods.com just to try to interpret my dream and try to help me out to figure out what's going on in that dream.
Awesome. How about John?
That's Katie's department. James, maybe if I sleep at night, I don't really get much sleep. So James, I have no knowledge on.
Well, I'll add. I find this interesting as I'm going over to Copperhead next here, but I find this interesting. I've been to Trans-Allegheny so many times, and between doing the reports on Trans-Allegheny and doing that's on my mind a lot. So obviously I do have a decent amount of dreams that I'm actually still investigating in Trans-Allegheny even when I'm not. But what I do find interesting there, and Copperhead might find this interesting, is the only place I'm ever investigating in Trans-Allegheny when I dream about Trans-Allegheny is the geriatrics ward, 3 and 6. So just kind of an interesting, don't know why, and I actually haven't spent a whole lot of time in that area, but that's where I always end up. But how about you, Copperhead? Any odd experience, dreams connected to an investigation?
No, not really. I kind of am an insomniac myself. I don't sleep all night long. I get up and move around too much. I do get the deja vu thing, but I've been, like I said, I've been in there so much, it probably is all running together.
Wow. How about Jason?
Yes. My dreams, to be honest with you, are real abstract, kind of like a Jackson Pollock painting. It's very, very hard for me to remember them when I wake up. So the dreams that I do remember, they're not really good dreams. usually they happen after the investigation, and they usually have to do with something like demonic or something bad. I don't know. It just happens. So.
Well, yeah, that's how I'd add about this one. I mean, these aren't just like normal, something getting up and like chasing. These are like this has been 4 nights in a row of just like terrible, terrible, terrible stuff happening to myself and others around me. So it's definitely been a creepy couple of nights on this. James, I believe we talked indirectly about this on the when you were on our show.
Is that when I drank the Kool-Aid and I couldn't sleep?
No, it wasn't the Kool-Aid one. It was when you were on our Sunday show back in, I think it was in May. We were talking a little bit about kind of any, I can word it, pre-investigation intimidation or any kind of odd things that might go on, heading into something that was particularly active.
I don't dream much. The last dream I had was about a week ago, and it was about a hamburger. And you know what? I actually got up and made that hamburger. But in all seriousness, on the situation, I don't dream a lot. And like I said, the hamburger dream was actually true. And the last time I had a dream or a correspondent nightmare, if you want to call it that, was with the demonic case that I was involved with. That I got a very, very distinct, brutal nightmare that I was just vivid, and it had me killing people in it, and the homeowners that I'd never met kind of like fit when I met them fit the perfect picture of what my nightmare was. But yeah. That's probably, and that's kind of insane that I had that nightmare. I don't usually tell people what was it about, because if I tell people I was killing people in my nightmare, I'd probably get locked up in like a institution or something like that. But in all seriousness, that's those only happened twice ever since. But like I said, I really don't dream. But those 2 nightmares were something that I would never forget. And I woke up in a cold chill, sweating, and I was actually, and I didn't even have my cat at this time, and I was actually bleeding from one of my fingertips.
Oh, wow. And it looks, I believe we lost Jason again. So, Jason, if you can hear us, feel free to call back in. I'll get you right back on. Again, you are listening to Sunday Night Dead. We're having the Paradrama Roundtable with Kelly Wirtz, Katie Hewitt, John Coghill, Copperhead, Jason Musgrove, Rebecca Slaughter-Boyer, and James Anito. I think I got everybody. If I missed somebody, let me know. Having computer difficulties here, so I cannot take part in the chat. So just everyone remembering that I can't answer your chats here, but I will read the questions over the line, or if anyone would like to call in, we still have about 10 minutes or so here. 646-929-2384. So, let's see Katie and John, what do you have anything coming up soon, investigation-wise?
Well, we've been pondering the idea of going to Gettysburg, for a day trip, just going out there since it's like 2.5 hours away from us. Some private investigations that we've been doing lately. And then, it's just Halloween season, so, we like to go out and do hay rides and stuff like that. We like to take a break for a little bit while we can, trying to do hay rides and stuff that we actually enjoy, too, besides investigating. Because all the places like Penhurst, I know, they do the asylum. They all get ready for Halloween time in the haunt, so that's what we like to try to do.
Awesome. Rebecca, how about you? I think I've seen a couple things up on your team site that you have coming up in the near future.
Yeah, we're going to be so busy next couple of weeks to the next month. This weekend coming up, Ken Saminsky and some of his team from Portal Paranormal coming in from Michigan. As you know, we're about an hour away from Gettysburg Battlefield, and Antietam Battlefield is only about 15 minutes away, so they're going to kind of do both of those, and then they're supposed to investigate with us at the Masonic Temple here in Hagerstown that we do our ghost hunt, which is actually next month in October. we like to have, I don't know how many times we have people ask us, hey, can we go investigate with you guys? So to make it easy, we just say, okay, well, let's raise some funds for the building and sell tickets, and everybody can come and investigate to their heart's content with us. But we also have the weekend after in September, 15th and 16th, it's the Antietam, Battle of Antietam 150th anniversary, and we're supposed to be over there helping with a couple of things with the Boy Scouts, and there's a heritage festival in Sharpsburg, the town that's right there at the battlefield. So we're really busy in the coming weeks.
Oh, wow. Kelly, I know you just got back from the Vasilla Axe Murder House, but what do you have going on coming up?
Well, we've got a couple of different things. We're going to be heading to Wisconsin Rapids here for kind of like a paranormal conference with that. The Booth brothers are going to be there, and they're kind of raising funds for the first ward school that's there. We are going to be speaking at a steampunk convention. They're working on Victorian paranormal different. It's just amazing to me. It's like a whole immersion thing that we've been asked to do. And then our own fellow investigator, Nate, he has a book that he wrote on paranormal in the area, and so we're doing a kind of like an event in Washington County there. So we're pretty excited. We've got a bunch of private investigations coming up, so we're pretty excited. And then I've got on the side Haunted Corn Maze with Dan from Wisconsin Area Paranormal Society. Him and I are working on that, so I'm not going to get much sleep anytime soon.
I've seen some of the posters of that. That looks awesome. I also wanted to add, Ken Szymanski was actually supposed to be with us tonight, so I want to give a big hello out to Ken, because I'm sure he will tune in on the archives later. He just had something come up that he had to take care of, so we hope everything's all right, Ken, and we look forward to having you back on very soon. Copperhead, how about, I know there's the whole haunted asylum coming up. Are you actually going to be in there scaring people, or are you doing tours, or what do you have coming up in the future?
Well, they've got Fall Fest will be coming up in October. Then, of course, the Haunted House. And I'm not going to be in the Haunted House. I'll be doing, we've got 2 new tours that we're doing this year. I think one of them, I'm not 100% sure, so don't take this to heart. But I hear that they're going to be doing a morgue tour. So they're going to be going out through the first floor of the medical building, I believe.
Wow.
We're going to be having 2 different tours inside the building, and then, of course, ghost hunts will be, I think, the paranormal tours through October are on Wednesdays, and then ghost hunts Friday and Saturday nights. And they're a little shorter than the regular hunts because they start later in the night. But yeah, October I'll be at the asylum probably 5 to 6 nights a week. So I think I'll just rent a room and stay down there instead of driving back and forth.
It's great. I happened to be there in October last year, and it's a great time. It's a lot of it's a lot of fun there. And James, how about you? What do you have coming up?
You say James?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I have, of course, the first word lecturing, and I'll be at the VIP mixture in Wisconsin on September 13th with a lot of great people, and I have a few events. I have also the September 15th event. So as soon as I get back from Wisconsin to Boston, I drive all the way up to New Hampshire to speak at a lecture up in New Hampshire. And then October 6th and 7th, I have an L lecture, the Northeastern Unity Lecture. And then I will also be actively on radio shows and currently writing my book out that's going to be out in December of 2012. So I am wicked busy.
Awesome. Yeah, I've seen you having the cover posted.
I did post the cover, yes.
Yeah. So awesome. Wish you the best on that. Really quick, I always want to make sure we do this before we run out of time. I'm going to kind of flip around here, let everybody, let the listeners out there know your any contact info, any websites, anything you would like to let listeners know if they would like to get in touch with you? Again, let's start back over with Kelly.
Our Facebook is the easiest one, and it's PIRS Wisconsin. You can find us, or just do a search for me. I like to find people on the net as long as they're nice to me. I'll be nice to them. So that's how you can get a hold of us.
And I'll just add, Kelly has a great blog that I've certainly enjoyed, and that's kind of how I came to know Kelly. And I actually owe you information for one of those, and I did not forget. Just little brain damage or something. I'll get it out to you.
I know you're busy. Okay.
Rebecca.
Well, we have a Facebook page also, Antietam Paranormal Society, pretty easy to find. We also have a website, AntietamParanormalSociety.com, and email AntietamParanormal@gmail.com.
Awesome. Katie and John.
Yeah, you can check us out on Facebook at South Jersey Soul Searchers, or you can check us out on the web at www.facebook or SouthJerseySoulSearchers.com.
And Mr. Copperhead?
Well, I'm pretty easy to find. I'm on Facebook at Copperhead, and you have to do a space because the last name is GH on that. Then on Twitter, I update all night long during the hunt. It's Copperhead GH. I've also got a YouTube page, which is easy to, again, it's Copperhead GH. I pretty much got that cornered there. If you need to get a hold of me via email, it's copperhead2@gmail.com.
Awesome. And James, contact
everything.
info.
Yes, everything is connected to this. My email, Facebook, Twitter, everything. My website is jamesanito.com, JamesAnnitto.com.
Awesome. And I want to let everyone know, if you haven't checked out the Sunday Night Dead Facebook page, it's where we're going to set up a lot of information and actually get some feedback on different shows and different show topics and get some conversations going. I've already gotten some very good suggestions from some people on the site. Our shirt contest for September is going to be share the page. And for everyone that shares the page, you just have to do it once a week. You don't have to flood everybody out there. But if you share the page, anyone who shares it in that week, we will enter your name in for a drawing. We will draw semifinalists every week, and then go ahead and get a finalist on after that. But again, I want to thank everyone here, Kelly, Rebecca, Katie, John, James, Copperhead, and Jason, if you're out there listening. We had the technical difficulties there and lost his call, but really appreciate you all taking your time out on this Labor Day weekend to talk with us. I always enjoy talking about I don't enjoy the drama, but it's always fun to talk about it. So, again, I thank all of you for coming on and really appreciate all of you taking your time out to be on with me tonight.
Thank you,
Thank
Matthew.
Go get drunk, guys. Drink it. Don't drink and drive.
All right. Well, on behalf of all our guests tonight and Vincent, my technical manager, and all those orbs that I think are still floating around outside trying to protest my existence, I would like to wish you all a very good night and a great week. Next week, we have New Jersey Paranormal. Have a very great Labor Day, and take care, everyone. Good night.
Be safe. Bye.
Bye.